Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library. Go quickly and find our Fabio. Only you can make him talk.
Uh-oh.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
So is this Fabio? I guess. Let's look at him.
A blunt force trauma. May have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
Tattoo? Something underneath. Slave branding.
This crude tattoo partially covers his slave branding. This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance. This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood. The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart.
What else?
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it.
So he was hurting?
He died right here.
Victim's description we have. A young man with a ceremonial knife stuck in his chest lies on a ritual stone in the altar room. It's Fabio. It's funny though that the Vogel is saying, maybe you're the only one who could make him speak. There's a lot of blood around, mainly coming from a wound in his chest. The lacerations on his head seem to be from a blunt force trauma. The left fist of the victim was clutching fabric. Fabio met his death here. A worm-like sigil on the victim's stomach was drawn with his blood, most probably. The victim had appeared to cover his slave branding with a crude tattoo. This massively forged dagger is heavy and unbalanced but sharp. Its handle is made of gold. The handle has a bloodstain on it. Right, I need to speak to someone apparently about this, but I wanna... Maybe Vogel? He's right here, all of a sudden. I wanna look around.
This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly.
Eee, gross.
The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony.
What's this?
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry.
In a hurry. What about this?
The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
And this? Can't look at this one, apparently. I think I need to speak to Vogel. Oh, I can go to the dressing room. Yeah, but let's speak with him first before we do that. He'll probably tell us to go there. Because there's also more over here. Yeah. Because we need to speak to someone, right? Yeah, we do.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts, but I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
So can I take it off? I don't know. Let's just ask everything.
What is it about these nights that you were so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere, often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death.
Let's start at the top.
Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
I think that was sarcastic.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were...
Filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
I think so, yeah. And also, I think the rehearsal was very successful. A little bit too successful.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
I keep getting more questions.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
John in the background.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil... Not this travesty that seems straight out the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks.
I'm wearing a mask.
The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
Suspicious?
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober.
Mostly.
I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later, only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
I think so.
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
True that. Can I take this costume off now? I'm gonna, and I'll just see what happens. Oh, I can change. Oh, that's too bad. So I guess I'll just look like this. Now what? Let me see. This room stores various decorations, so that's the dressing room, we need to go there. The second performer was Matista. Vogel was invited as a special guest. The door was locked the first time Vogel tried to enter the room to talk to Fabio. After an hour, he attempted to open it again, and that time nothing blocked the keyhole from the inside, so he was able to enter. According to Vogel, Fabio was a performer and an entertainer for the rich guests. Matista was Fabio's fellow artist, and she worked with him, well, if you can call it that. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the mansion and the organizer of the parties. Right, let's go check out the other rooms. So this is dressing room, I think. Wait, we have blood. Can we not do anything with it? Well, I guess not. That's weird. Red handprint.
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
So someone is dressed as a guest. Is that Matista, maybe?
This is a different ritual.
Ritual scenario. I found a scenario of some sort of ritual with a remark written at the beginning. It says, read and rehearse this rite, Manchios. The naked woman lies on the altar on a bed of flowers symbolizing Mother Gaia. The one who leads the ritual oils the body of the woman to awaken her inner fertility. Participants should chant at this moment and call for the man who can please Mother Gaia. Then the man who will impersonate the principle of life may come to engage in sexual congress with her. Why is that different? That is what Vogel described. Note: don't ignore the guests, Matista, and stop boring them. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are and how generous you can be towards them. You are here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you, Manchios.
How can anyone accept such behaviour?
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
Yeah, I think she's one of the guests now. We need to find her.
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchios.
Does that mean they were in love? Key, let's take it. I need that maybe.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
True. So I won't need it, I guess.
Would you recognise me in one of these? I suppose not.
Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
Interesting, so one of the guests did it. And got a new robe.
Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set.
I'm so sorry. I think it's my mouse that's not working properly.
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it. Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
So a killer freshened up. Which you already knew, kinda. So we need to find the killer in between the guests. Oh, now we're here. Alright. But why can I not look at this hand? Do we need to do that later?
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion. Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
Blood.
An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Could also be the wine, right? Or not.
Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened.
So that's his head wound. Someone attacked him here, I guess. Need to pin something, but am I done looking around? I guess I am. Yep. So what do we need to pin? This. Droplets of blood. Oh, this is how I'm gonna find the handprint, probably. Dozen drops.
The wounded person was here for some time. A bloody handprint on an armchair.
See, this I already saw.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Already?
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
Well, technically I have to do it. Want some blood drops. Let me see. Someone used a pitcher of water recently. The water drained has traces of blood. One of the guests may have taken a rope. Searched the old wardrobe, found a bloodstained rope. Fabio's key is still on the table. Matista's table had a note and a scenario. So, her key is gone. Is that what you're saying? Received expensive cufflinks. Note. Right. Let's see if we can figure it out. What do I need to pin, by the way? Nothing, right? Why does it say that? I don't understand it. Let's just do this. So, I don't think we should start here, but I'm here, so. Well, he wasn't smashed here with the bottle, we know that. So that's not what happened. I don't know what they're doing. Choking him, I think? Or? With the knife. Probably that one. That's not it, no. Let's do the knife thing, why not? And we can change it later. Yeah, probably. What else? No. This one. This is where he got smashed with the bottle. I don't even see what they're doing. Is that the knife? This one, I think. Yeah. This one? What else? Washing up or... Alright, so is this supposed to be Fabio? Yeah, he didn't do this. I think he did. The killer. What else? Also the killer or... Fabio? Nikki? No, he didn't. It's this one. So what did I miss? Over here at the door apparently. He put the key in or someone else did. Or holding the door. No, that's not it. I think it's this. Let's see if we're right.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
So one or more things are wrong. So it could also be that this is the choking. But then, how would the knife end up over there? That's weird. I think this is all correct. This must be the killer, right? Or maybe did Fabio wash up? Could be.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
So no. Maybe Fabio did put the key in the door, but that would be weird, wouldn't it? But it could be. But his key's on the table, they said.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Oh,
The
that's
bottle
it.
was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you all right? You're on the floor, not moving.
Yeah, do that.
I think I know what happened here.
But also, why did he clench, what do you call it? Clench his fist. If he was unconscious. That's not right, is it? Let's go to our mind palace. So we need to speak to someone, but first let's do this. Circumstances of Fabio's death. He has a golden ritual dagger in his chest, a sigil on his stomach, and symbols on the walls drawn in blood. I didn't even read the other one. Sacrificed on the altar during an occult ritual. Well, yeah, you can say that. Key remains untouched. Murderer cleaned herself. Altar room was locked and unlocked. Wait, this and this? Murderer was in possession of a key to the altar room and locked the door. Yep. So we can say Fabio was killed in a ritual murder, or it was a cover, ritual stage for the true murder motive. I don't know about that one yet. These two aren't connected. Let's go to our casebook. Back. See what happened. It is clear the murderer had a key. If I find out who had a key to the altar room, I'll shrink the circle of suspects. So I think I need to ask Vogel about this.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight.
Probably
We have
is.
lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all.
I can provide evidence, but I don't even know what. This?
The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
Matista?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him.
All
But
right.
please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry.
Is that it? Oh, alright. Guess that's all the evidence I needed to show him. Golden stars. Can't miss him, he says. Do you have golden stars? Tense and brittle. I don't know. Does this count? Who else do we have? Wait, what about you? Can't even look at you. I think it's him. Can't look at these other ones. Oh no, you have a normal mask. You have a normal mask. Yeah, it's that guy. I guess. Entertaining his guests, he's just standing there. Yeah, I think it's this one. And he's not holding anything. But he is friendly.
Kurt Manchios, I presume. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
Yeah, this isn't discreet at all.
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
But I have to ask this, I guess.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
Where can I find them?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
Oh, why are they so annoying? What is this? So this is why I couldn't change my outfit. Was this supposed to happen or?
Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience. You're great.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in this letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig? Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
The one and only. So I'm wondering, is this how this case goes anyway, or was I not discreet enough and the police showed up? I don't really know. Is something wrong with that? Let's just ask if he knew her.
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate.
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here.
Degenerate.
If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Yay.
Let's make a start then, partner.
This is what Sherlock is supposed to be.
I'm glad we
Finally.
managed to get the scoop before the raid.
Face mask. Wait, what did I get? The mask I just took off? What? I can change clothes. So let me see. Case book. A lot happened. Fabio received expensive cufflinks as a present. So I need to ask Manchios about these. Is he in jail maybe? Vogel doesn't know who could have had the key to the room and proposes to ask Mr. Manchios. Well, I did that. And then we got arrested. The police arrested me during the raid on Manchios' mansion. Constable Oswald freed me. He said he can find the documents relating to my mother's death in exchange for help in solving this case. I agreed. Constable Oswald will be in the archive during my investigation. He left everything he has for the case on the table. Vogel's on arrest since he is one of the primary suspects. My palace. Pinchetti is a major domo. As a major domo Santos, Pinchetti has unlimited access to every room. Oh. Guess I can't do anything with it. Let's look at the table. Report. Following a report from a witness of the satanic ritual who claimed to have found a body, the raid on the Manchios mansion was granted. It resulted in the arrest of multiple suspects and dispersal of the group in masks and robes, caught in acts of gross indecency and unnatural behavior. Unnatural. The body of the victim was found lying on an altar with a knife wound in his chest. The officers identified the victim, Fabio, 20, a local performer and artist. Arrested suspects, Werner Vogel. He had a letter of an insulting nature in his possession, which had been written by the victim. He claims to have found the body. He is infamous for his eccentric personality. Sherlock Holmes, that's me. Carried a murder weapon, a dagger with the victim's blood, did I take it all, and other items of evidence. He was invited by another suspect, Vogel, presumably to obstruct the official investigation, or complete it. Kurt Manchios. The owner of the mansion and organizer of the satanic party, paid the victim to participate in the ritual, had access to the crime scene. Matista, Fabio's partner and participant in the ritual, tried to escape, resisted arrest, owned a book with a description of the ritual performed in the altar room. Some of the guests are temporarily detained for further questioning. I have keys.
Back on track to solve the case.
Evidence ticket. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence. Great. Witness deposition. I, Santos Pinchetti, am a witness who reports a suspicion of murder at Manchios Mansion in Grand Surrey. During preparations for the social party, I heard loud noises from the closed altar room. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being overviewed by none other than Kurt Manchios. There was blood on the walls, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. Oh, so this was going to happen anyway. The station responded to the deposition by sending a patrol, while the witness left the station and went home. He sure did it. He must have. He's the only one who's home.
Look, I found Werner.
Where is he? Not here, is he? There's no one here. Oh, he's over there. So do we want to speak to Werner immediately, or who's this? This Matista?
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Oh, that's healthy. Condolences.
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Why did she have bruises? Observe. Obtained recently. Inks herself. Scars. Self-inflicted old and healing cuts. Bitten nails nervous. Inflicted with a branding iron, so she was also a slave. Like Fabio had the same mark but covered with a tattoo. Shackle scars, old and barely visible. So we have dissociated from her body. Matista, the performer and Fabio's partner, has had a difficult life. She was branded and enslaved while still a child. While enslaved, she met Fabio, hence the similar branding. All scars are the result of her slavery during adolescence. She continues to be haunted by these traumatic experiences. Matista seems to be pragmatic about her body after years of abuse. She sells herself to the guests, who do whatever they want to her. She's not afraid to step over the line. Also, Matista marks her body with ink or punishes. This is the same. Yeah. She has a genuine interest in mysticism since she has tattooed her body with occult symbols. Matista tries to get over her past, and the life of a performer seems to be an opportunity for her to earn money. I don't know. Maybe this one, because she also has those cuts.
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
Yes. It was a long time ago.
I couldn't help but also notice fresh cuts upon your forearms.
The cuts helped me to forget my past, to cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Gordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
Don't know if that's true. Let me see what updated. All of it. Keys, interrogation rooms 5 and 6. Oh, right, that's how I know where I need to go. Matista is a former slave and has a past history together with Fabio. Oh, place in number 6. Did I even get this? Character portrait. Right, so Vogel is in 5 and they don't have the maitre d' or... Oh wait, this is... I can speak to Vogel maybe. This is Manchios.
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Not arrogant at all.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
Right, but it's obvious that this Manchios likes young men. Which Fabio was. Wears makeup. To make him look younger, maybe? Rash from exposure to hair dye. Alright, so he is concerned about his looks. Soap on the fingernails, washed hands in a hurry. Did he kill Fabio? Because Skidder did wash up. Quality polished leather, lavishly expensive. Hides his age or stickler for cleanliness. Kurt Manchios is extremely rich, eccentric, and frivolous. He's the organizer of the parties for Cordona's elite and the owner of the Manchios mansion. He spends his life in the company of similarly overprivileged people. However, he wishes to hide his true age from the younger participants of his parties. He's concerned with aging to the point where he uses makeup and hair dye to look younger. Or, this is the same. However, his being sociable in this manner has made him cautious regarding his health. He uses chemicals and hair dye to clean and improve himself to the extent that it damages his skin. No, it's this. I think he did wash his hands in a hurry just because he did it. Maybe.
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your status.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
I believe that. Because when you've just killed someone, does soap under the fingernails matter? No, it does not.
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
I doubt
Possibly.
it.
What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
Let's ask this.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here with you alone.
He's not gonna answer this, I think.
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
Alright, so I do have to ask this one as well.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true laborers, I see.
A little sarcastic. Evidence, what do we have? Extremely rich, eccentric, and controlling. Yeah, don't have to show him this or this. Matista. Don't know. Nope. What about this?
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
Right, so a second ago it was me and you hated me for it, and now you want me to help you. No, no. This I already asked him. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. What else do we have? This is about the murder. This.
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
Extremely
You've
rich.
thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Right, that was it. Mind Palace. What happened? A lot. Scrupulously clean. Help because of the letter. Feelings for Fabio. What about this? Good Manchios carefully prepared himself for the depravity. Matista suffered bruises on her body from brutal interactions with the guests during the party. Yeah, it could be something else as well. He prepared himself, or he cleaned himself of blood after the murder. Could also be, I don't know that one yet. Manchios is a suspect who should be arrested and questioned. He had a key which he did not mention in his deposition. Yep, for sure. Bruised by guests, or during their fight in the smoking lounge, Fabio bruised Matista. Could also be. Right. Don't know yet. So none of them connect. No. Just want to check. See? None. No. Alright. So what we get? We need to speak with Vogel. We need to inspect all the evidence. He got this. He gifted the cufflinks because he wanted to express his gratitude to Fabio or his love. He gave expensive gifts. And we need to speak to Santos. Alright, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna take a quick break again and then I'm gonna continue with this case. I think it's a long one. So, don't know if this is gonna be a part, one part, or half, or 1.5, or 2. No. I'll just make it so that it makes sense. So, yeah, bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Curious what happens next? Subscribe to my page so you don't miss anything.